Record. All right, folks, welcome. My name is Alicia Roybal. I am the Associate Director for New Student Orientation here at CU Denver. Tonight, we are going to answer all your questions about orientation, what that next step looks like, what the requirement is, and how to sign up for orientation and get through the process. There will be an opportunity for you to get your questions answered as well. So please do not hesitate to use the chat, or there will be some opportunity for you to unmute if you're comfortable unmuting yourself. I definitely encourage you to do so. Before we get started, I do want to go ahead and do some introductions. So I already introduced myself. Again, I am Alicia Roybal. I'm going to kick it off to my team.
Hi everyone, my name is Nicole Hoff and I'm the Operation Coordinator for our New Student Orientation Office. Thanks for joining us.
Hey everyone, my name is Timmy. I'm one of the student staff here in the orientation office. I'm one of your orientation leaders. This is currently my last semester and I'm graduating with a Bachelor of Arts in Psychology.
Hi everybody, my name is Katie Kane. I'm actually a graduate student at the University of Colorado at Colorado Springs, and I'm helping out at CU Denver for my internship that I have to complete with my program in higher education. So I'm here to learn and be as helpful as I can be. Welcome.
Hey y'all, my name is Sweeney. I'm one of our admissions counselors in the admissions office. So I typically have all of my Northern Colorado high schools. So if y'all are in that area, I'm definitely your admissions counselor. But so happy to have you here.
Hi everyone, I'm Grace. I'm also an admissions counselor in the admissions office, and I do Southern Colorado.
Hi, good evening, everyone. My name is Christy Heaton, and I serve as Assistant Vice Chancellor for Student Transitions and Family Engagement. So I get to work with all these wonderful people in this room with orientation, first year experiences, our peer advocate leader program, family engagement, and our pre-collegiate college program. So we are super pumped to have both students and families with us. You're going to get a lot of helpful information, and we're really looking forward to connecting with you all spring and summer, and then seeing you in August.
Awesome. Thank you, everybody. All right, I'm going to go ahead and start sharing my screen. So we do like to show you how to navigate the process rather than just going through a PowerPoint and then you're not sure where to find some things. So that will be how this presentation will run today. So if you can see this, let me get a thumbs up from some folks, an emoji, or a few. Yep, thank you. First thing you want to do to get started with orientation is you would go to ucdenver.edu/orientation. That gets you to our main page right here. There are some good tidbits on the step process. So first,
I can't hear anything.
Oh no, you can't hear?
It's nothing. Yeah, at the moment.
Oh yeah, we can hear you. Maybe Timmy, could you maybe help Sue figure out maybe some suggestions for the microphone, please? Okay, so I'm going to keep going. You're going to start at our website, ucdenver.edu, and then you'll click on first year students. So all of you are first year students. Everyone is required to come through the orientation process at CU Denver. We, regardless if you're first year, if you're a transfer, we do want to help you with the onboarding at the university. There are some things that just aren't so intuitive here. And so we want to make sure that you get a good start and you get all of the questions that you have answered. So your requirement is if you're a fall admit, you would click on fall 2022, and you have two parts for fall. Fall is going to be your academic success. This session will be on Zoom. We do Zoom for a couple of reasons. One, it fits nicely with a lot of folks' schedules. Two, are any folks from out of town? If you want to use the chat and let us know if you are not from the Denver metro area or not Colorado at all. We like to do the Zoom, so it gives you an option to get registered and meet with your advisor early on, as well as not require you to come to Colorado too many times. We also have international students that participate in orientation, so it's a nice opportunity for international students, but then also a lot of our students work, especially over the summer. It's prime time working, so we're able to do Zoom around work schedules. Oh, thank you for sharing. Oh, wow, we've got a lot of folks from out of state. Vermont, California, Seattle, New York, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, Texas, Florida. Oh, Vermont. That is amazing. Thank you all for sharing where you're from. So as I was saying, academic success, that's your part one. You will meet with your advisor. You will get 30 minutes to meet with your advisor during this session. You will also do registration. So we will have orientation leaders. As you met Timmy, he is a perfect example of our orientation staff. And so we'll help you navigate the system, get your portal set up, make sure you're able to access your email. And then we'll also talk with you all a little bit about how to build your first semester schedule. What does that time management look like? What does the commitment look like? And how is it a little bit different from high school to college? The second part, and this is the exciting part, is our Student Success Day. Student success for first-year students is going to be back on campus. So that's really exciting. We have not had an orientation program on campus since summer of 2019. So we are excited to have you all back. This is the fun part of orientation. Well, I guess it's all fun. It's nice to meet with your advisor, registering, once you're done, you're like, woohoo, I'm official. But the Student Success Day is where you will definitely get to interact and engage with more of your peers. You will get to hear from student life. You will get to meet other folks on campus. The Student Success Day is going to be set up in a conference style. So that means that there will be some required program that all students should have. And then you'll also get to pick and choose some things that you want to learn about or get to know more about on your own. So these part twos will not begin until mid-July, and we'll have 5 sessions between mid-July and August. When you register for orientation, you will see what those options are, but come June, expect an email from our office to you all confirming your day 2. Kelly, I see your question. How long will the in-person part 2 session last? In-person, that is a great question. In-person part 2 will be almost a full day session. So we will provide lunch for you all. You don't have to worry about bringing any money or sack lunches like that, maybe any little snacks in between lunch if you needed, but we will provide lunch for you all. And we do take into consideration all dietary needs. So if you're vegan, we will make sure to have a vegan option. If you're gluten allergy or you gluten-free, we will make sure to be cognizant of that. We will have something for the meat lovers. So if you are, eating, I don't know, turkey, ham, whatever, we'll make sure that we have something for everybody. Anna, the in-person session will begin, there'll be 5 options and you'll be able to choose from mid-July through early August. So we will also, for those of you who are out of state, get a pen, write this down, or make sure you revisit this recording. We will have a specific session for our students living in our housing and dining, and that will be on August 17th. So again, those of you who are coming from out of state, we're trying to be cognizant of everyone's pocketbooks. We don't want you to have to come back and forth too many times. We do have a specific session for folks that are living in housing and dining. That is the week before the start of the semester. So there's something for everybody. Great question, Kelly. Both of these part 1 and part 2 sessions are going to be for students. We do have some parent orientation programs that will be virtual over the summer. So there are 2 of those that will be offered. And when we have those sessions, as well as on the parent and family websites, we will have other engagement opportunities for you all to get connected to. Spring 2023, I'll go on that. We are not going to have that information available until mid-fall. So that will be around October that we have information for spring 2023. If you are summer Summer is a little bit different. Your part 1 is going to be to complete the online modules, and then your part 2 will be for you to set up an appointment with your academic advisor. Summer admits is a very small group of students, so it's actually easier for you to connect one-on-one with your advisor by just reaching out, and then the modules will show you how to set all of that information up. And of course, we are here for anyone to answer any questions that you might have. Again, family and guest orientation, we do have some modules that are available. So we have Canvas modules. This will give you a little bit of a taste also of what your students will experience when they are in classes. All of our faculty and instructors use Canvas to house their syllabi, they post grades. So this will give you a little bit of a taste of what your students will go through when they are starting their first semester. So again, our website is ucdenver.edu/orientation. You don't have to remember any of this other stuff. And we will be able to get you some frequently asked questions on our website. Our contact information is down here should you need it. And then we'll make sure that you can get our contact information before you leave this session as well. So with that, that is the requirement. Again, if you have any questions, orientation is here to help guide you and direct you and get connected. You're never bothering us. It's our job to help you. So please, please, please make sure that you reach out to us when you do need any assistance for anything. Thank you for posting that website. So at this point, I'm going to go ahead and kick my virtual mic over to Nicole Hoff, and she's going to talk about how to register for orientation and what that process looks like.
Thank you, Alicia. So as you can see on the screen that Alicia was sharing of the website, one of the first steps that you're going to need to do in order to sign up for orientation is to reply to your offer of admission. So once you apply through your application status page, letting us know that you will be attending the university, you will have a next step checklist that populates, and there's that screenshot that shows you what the checklist will look like. And you'll be able to click on that and it will take you to the registration system for the new student orientation requirement. So now I'm going to share my screen and show you the form that you will be filling out. All right, can you all see my screen? Perfect.
Yes.
So once you click on the checklist item that says register for new student orientation, it will take you to this portal. This will give you a brief overview of what that requirement is. Like Alicia was just letting you know, you'll have your part 1 and your part 2. And then right below that is the registration form. You'll want to fill in some general information about yourself. If you have a preferred name that we use, some pronouns, if you'll be living on campus or not. Your contact information. This is really important to pay attention to because this is the way that orientation is going to be communicating with you for all of your information for the events that you need to attend. So make sure that if you have a high school email that you're going to be losing access to once you graduate, that you update it to maybe your Gmail account or your university account that you have. Make sure that there's a correct phone number. If there's something that we need to reach out to you, we might call you or one of the orientation leaders might follow up with you if you had any issues or needed assistance. And then you'll want to make sure that your major is also correct in here. And if it is not correct, or if you're wanting to change it, you're going to want to change that prior to submitting this form. All of our part 1 academic success days, the vising part, is based off of your major. All the dates are going to line up perfectly so you can meet with your advisor for your certain major that you're registered for. So if you're wanting to do that, you definitely can get that switched on your application status page. Once that's updated, then you can come back to this checklist in this portal and resubmit your form. And then below that is going to give you all the options that you have for your academic success. And so once you look through the dates and times that we have available, you'll just click on the one that you want to attend. And then it's going to have some questions that are important for you to go through so your advisor knows some information prior to attending. That way they can prep properly for you. So that way you have a smooth first advising appointment. So they'll ask you if you are required to take the ALEX for your major. Not all majors are required to take the ALEX math placement. So you might not see this because your major might not require it. If you do select yes, it'll ask you to enter your ALEX math placement score. And if you haven't, it'll kind of outline what is required and why you need to take the math placement in order to get into certain classes. Below that, you're going to have information about your dual enrollment. If you've taken AP or IB credit, and you'll be able to put in all the information based off of what you've taken. So if you've taken maybe 2 AP classes, you'll be able to put in those classes that you've taken. And then if you have already received the score or not, you'll also be able to put that in. So if you're still waiting to receive the exam score, so maybe you've just recently taken or are going to be taking the test, you can put that in there and then you'll be able to update that later. And then also has the part 2 within this form as well. We will be reaching back out to all students in June with more information about the part 2, just because we still live in the world with COVID and we want to make sure that we're able to keep everyone safe. So we do have the dates that we have expected to have the sessions. And so if you will select which one you would like to attend, that way we can kind of gauge, and then we can also make sure that we are aligning with all of the campus protocols for campus and making sure that we can keep everyone safe and make sure that we're doing everything correctly. In June, we'll send out an official sign up for your day 2. And then just a reminder, if you are planning on living at housing, you will be required to attend the August 17th session. That will be for all of our housing students. So you can select that as well. And that way we can kind of coordinate that with you as well and make sure that you are up to date on all of your housing stuff and getting ready to move in and then do your day 2. And then lastly on the form is if you have any special accommodations that we need to be aware of. That way we can make sure that you are having the smooth transition into the university and make sure you are having a successful orientation. And if you click yes, you just want to describe what accommodation you need, and that way we can refer to it prior to you attending and make sure that we get any of those accommodations set up for you. And then once you're done with the form, you'll just hit submit. And then I want to go back up to the very top of the screen because there's a lot of resources also within this registration system. So off to the side at the very top, you'll see some to-do list items. There's some required items that you need to do, and then there's also some optional items that you can look into prior to attending your orientations. And so if you click on with any of these required ones or optional ones, they'll take you to a new page and it'll give you detailed steps on how to complete that item. So one I'll go over is submitting your student ID photo. So all students are able to submit their photo for their student ID online. That way they can get it printed, and once you're on campus, you can go ahead and just get that picked up. And so this will walk you through all the steps on how to get that submitted. That way you aren't missing your photo ID. And it's especially important for students that are going to be living at housing because that will also be your key to get into your dorms. And all of those will open into a new tab. That way you can always just go back to the previous tab and see the rest of the to-do list items. Below that, we'll just have some of your information. So if you're also seeing here that maybe your major's incorrect, once you get that updated in your application status page, it should reflect here. If it's not changing, you can always reach out to an orientation staff member and we can help you get that corrected, as well as your contact information. You can update it by just clicking the little box below that and you can update it. And then some other resources. We have our Link Central website, which is the main student website, has all the resources for our campus on there, has important dates and deadlines. And so as a new student, I would suggest bookmarking that. And that way you can always have it for future reference. Our disability resources and services, if you need to request any accommodations for the upcoming semester, you can go and visit their website and fill out the forms that you need to. We also have some updates on COVID and our campus, so definitely check out the success resources. All right, I'm going to hand it back over to Alicia.
Great, thank you so much. There were a lot of great questions that came through. I do want to just address some of them for the group in case you missed the chat. I know sometimes it goes by pretty quickly. There were some questions regarding ALEKS math assessment. So if you have taken a college credit math course and you have those grades, you've submitted the transcripts to the admissions office, then you should be okay and not have to take ALEKS because we have those grades in our system. However, if you have not submitted them, or if you've taken AP or IB math courses, the university does not get those scores in our system until like early July. So if you're meeting with your advisor in April, May, or June, you actually will not be able to register for the next level math. So if we do not have your transcripts, we do not have your test scores on file, I do recommend that you complete ALEKS. That way you can register for your next level math course without any issues. ALEKS is a 2-hour test. You can access it through your UCD Access student portal. And on that page that Nicole was just showing you where that to-do list is, there is better instruction on how to get to it and where you can see it in your portal. Again, you get 2 hours. If you don't get the right test score to test into the math course that you're needing, then you can take the test again. It opens up some modules for you to do some practice in. And then once you complete those modules, you can go back and you can actually take the ALEKS assessment up to 5 times. So just know also if you do not complete it within 2 hours, it'll kick you out and it will not record your score. So just be aware of that. So great questions on those. And then there was another one. What about community college credit? If people take a gap year, can those transfer over? Yes, Zoe, if you are going to be taking a gap year and you do take college credit at a community college, or I don't know, maybe you go to another institution and you transfer, just make sure that you transfer those credits over, you get your transcripts to us, and they will get evaluated and they will be added to your degree audit if they are accepted. And then the same thing, so dual enrollment. Any of you who have taken college credit at your local community college or another institution, please make sure that you submit your official transcripts from that institution. It might show on your high school transcript that you completed, I don't know, English 1020 at Community College of Denver. We do need the official transcript from the institution. It is not going to transfer over if it is only on your high school transcript. So that is something to be aware of. A lot of folks do not know that the high school transcript is not sufficient enough for college. And the same thing with AP and IB. We do need to have the test scores from College Board in order for you to get the credit for AP and IB courses. So at this point, this is where we open the floor up to you all to get additional questions answered. Anything in regards to the requirement, anything in regards to signing up, Alex, what questions do you all have in order to get you started on the right foot for your next steps? And feel free to use the chat or unmute if you're comfortable. There's a couple things coming in. Okay. When will the part 1 of the orientation with your counselor to make your classes? Great question. So part 1 of orientation dates depend on your major. So the orientation sessions are very specific to major. If you're a business major, there are specific business dates. If you are liberal arts and sciences or arts and media, you all will have your specific dates. So with that being said, I do highly encourage you when you're going into your application status page, if you see that you might be a communication major, but you really wanted to be business marketing major, I encourage you to change your major before you register for orientation. That will ensure that we get you connected to the right advisor. For instance, business advisors are not on the same advising day as the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences, which would be communications. So if you change your major after you sign up for orientation, there's a good chance that you might also need to change your orientation date. And just a little pro tip, it's actually easier to change your major before you register for classes and start the semester. Once you start the semester and you decide to change your major, there's a lot of paperwork involved. So if you know that you're not listed as the right major, we do encourage you to change that. It's really easy to do in your application status page. There's another question. I'm finishing up college algebra this semester. Should I wait to send my transcripts until I finished it or take the ALEX? That is a good question. It really comes down to registration for classes. So Andrew, if you are going to be registering for a part 1 orientation session in April or May, I would encourage you to complete ALEX so you can register for the course. Registration, and this is something you all will learn when you're in college, everyone is assigned a day and time to register, and that's based on how many credits you have in the system. So a registration for fall opens in April, which is why we hold our sessions so early. If you wait to register until, I don't know, late June, July, even like August is, you got to cross your fingers to get in classes. The classes do get full and you'll be stuck with classes on Tuesday, Thursday at 6 o'clock at night, or you might get the Monday, Wednesday at 8 a.m. And so you're really kind of left with some slim pickings if you wait too long to register. So because you are currently in it, I would recommend, and you actually might do really well because you're in the math right now. Are students supposed to complete, okay, I'm not sure if you went over it, but are students supposed to complete the assessment through ALEX? Yes, that is correct. And the only way you can access the ALEX math assessment is through your student portal. On the orientation sign-up page that Nicole was reviewing, the to-do list item, there is one there specific for ALEX, and it does have instruction on where exactly you find it in the portal. All right.
And then as takes a break from questions, I just wanted to plug our parents and family members that are on this call. We will also have family sessions throughout the summer for y'all to attend. They are going to be on Zoom. And then we also have some parent and family modules that you can go in and access at any point. They're on our website, or Christy has posted the link to the website, and you can go in and access those modules. Has a lot of good information about our campus resources, next steps, and like the orientation requirement and stuff.
Yes, I highly, highly encourage that, especially for our parents. There's lots of good information there for you. Yes, and Callie, your question was answered. The admitted students day waitlist, that's not a problem. There are, I want to say, about 800 people that are signed up for that day on April 1st. That is actually not an orientation. That is just an opportunity for those of you who've never been to campus. Maybe you're still trying to make a decision on whether or not you're going to attend CU Denver. That's what that day is for. But if you are on the wait list, that's not a problem. It will not affect your orientation. Great question. Karush, Nicole had put our email address in there. Please feel free to email orientation@ucdenver.edu for any questions after the session. Even when the semester starts, email us. We've got a lot of connections and can get you to the right place. Mason, yes, please make sure anyone actually that has community college transcripts, make sure you do get those sent directly to the admissions office. Once it gets to the admissions office, our transfer evaluators in the registrar will look those over and they will get those posted to your degree audit. The degree audit is something that your advisor will go over with you when you meet one-on-one, along with the suggested first semester courses to register for. JW, that is a great question. Are first year students required to live in housing? No. You should talk to housing and dining on that. So we do have 2 housing buildings on our campus. The first one is City Heights. That one's highly recommended. It's right in the middle of campus. You can roll out of bed, get to your classes. That's where the dining hall is as well. So, our Links Crossing is our other housing building. That's a little bit not on the outside, but there's about a 10-minute walk from Links Crossing to City Heights where the dining hall is. That is going to be our only dining hall on campus. So if it is an option to live in City Heights, I would recommend doing that there. But talk with our housing and dining folks, and they'll be able to let you know what your full list and options are. Okay, I live in Parker and will be attending fall 2022. Who's my admissions counselor? Brandon. Yes, we can definitely get you connected with your admissions counselor. I'm going to actually ask Alan to look that up for you and send you a chat so you can connect with that person. Thanks, Alan. Okay. Let's see, do we need to, a deposit? That is a great question. Ryan, when you're talking about submitting a deposit, are you talking about a registration deposit or a housing deposit? Once I kind of know, if you're talking about a registration deposit, oh, I see that, perfect. We actually do not have a registration deposit for CU Denver, so that should not be an issue for you to do any of that. We don't require students to put down any sort of deposit on campus or for registration anyway, so you should be golden. Let's see. Perfect. What should I do about my 6 IB test grades? That will not be known. Yes, so your 6 IB test grades, and this goes for anyone else. If you have not taken the test yet, or you are planning on taking the test, or maybe you have taken the test, when you sign up and register for orientation, make sure you just list that on the form. Your advisor knows exactly what to do with that information. They'll take a look, and what they will do, so let's say you're coming to an April, May, June session, they will advise you as if you will be getting those credits coming in. So there are a lot of options. When you come to CU Denver, in order to graduate, you have to complete 120 credit hours. So they'll just make some adjustments to your degree plan and they'll find something for you to take. Trust me, there's plenty of options out there. So don't worry too much about that. Just make sure you list them. And then I do also encourage you all, when you meet and come to your academic success day on Zoom, bring the list of those courses with you and your advisor, and you can discuss and go over those. Okay, for residential students, will the cost on campus housing be included in their tuition or extra? So the cost of housing is in addition to tuition. So when you're looking at the $11,000, $10,000, that is actually for the full year. That's the estimation for both fall and spring. So it's roughly about $5,000 in tuition, well, $5,500 in tuition for fall, $5,500 in tuition for spring. If I can get someone to please post the housing website, on there, you'll be able to look at what the rates are for housing, and then you'll be able to add that into your plan as well. Thank you so much all for my team for doing that. When are payments due for fall semester tuition and housing? Great question. JW, you will get your, well, and everyone in here will, when you register, the first week of August is when you will get your tuition bill from the university. That first week of August is when you will be able to go in, set up a payment plan, but tuition, if you do not set up a payment plan, will be due in full come September. And I don't have this specifically. Thank you, Nicole. September 9th. So if you do not have a payment plan on file, and if you are planning on paying in full, your tuition will be due Friday, September 9th. So you might want to put that in your phones now, or write it big somewhere where you won't lose it. After September 9th, you will start to accrue late charges on your account, and that's just additional money that you shouldn't have to fret about. So make sure you do have those set in place. Okay, this is a great question, Katie. We know there's a visit day on April 1st. Will there be, Ellen, do you know if there will be any additional visit days on campus?
There will not. So the Admitted Student Day is the only day that we're doing kind of that big event for all of our admitted students for the spring. We are still doing our campus tours, our daily campus tours, Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. and 1 p.m. They are filling up pretty quickly. So if there is any day and time, especially for my out-of-state families, that you're like, this is the only day I'm coming in, can I maybe squeeze in? Just feel free to email admissions directly and we can see what we can do. But if you have a day and time in mind, definitely register for it because they are filling up pretty quickly.
Thank you for that. And then Ryan, your advisor contact information, again, advising depends on what school or college you are in. So if you are in liberal arts and sciences, you will be assigned your advisor when you attend your academic success day. That's how a lot of the schools and colleges do. You can also go on to the CU Denver website, and if you search undergraduate advising, that would take you to our general advising page, and you can at least get the email and front desk phone number, and they can get you connected. But please also remember, you will meet with your advisor at your academic success day on Zoom. I always say at your success day, it makes it sound like you're going to be in person. We will be on Zoom. That's why I keep repeating myself. Okay, I think as I'm going down. All right, Sunil, great question. What are the COVID-19 vaccination requirements? So you will all be required to submit your vaccination status. They would prefer, the university leadership would prefer everybody do get vaccinated. However, they recognize there are medical reasons, other religious reasons, personal reasons, whatever it may be. But you are required to submit your vaccination status. What that means is if you have been vaccinated, you do need to submit the 2 dates that you were vaccinated. If you've gotten your booster, it'll ask for that information as well. If you have not been vaccinated for whatever reason, you will be required to disclose that information. And then they do have a weekly COVID test requirement. So if you're not vaccinated, you do need to go and get tested every week. There is a site on campus in which you can do that. So that makes it really easy and convenient. And you don't have to do anything. All you have to do is remember to set a reminder on your calendar to schedule your appointment to get tested. And then that's it. You don't have to send the test results anywhere. Our system collects that information. If you do forget to do your test 1 week, you will get a friendly reminder email saying, hey, you did not take your test this week. Please go and get that done as soon as possible. Aaliyah, great question. Are freshmen, first-year students required to live on campus? The answer is no. You are not required to live on campus. You may live at home. You may live off campus. I always put this little, I guess, note, if you will. If you decide to live at any of the other student housing, so around CU Denver and Auraria campus, there are outside companies that advertise student housing. So you might see something from Regency, CoLab, Auraria Lofts. They all sound like they are connected to the institution and the campus. They are actually a separate entity. So if you do decide to live in the off-campus student housing, just know that the university does not offer the same services to the students that are living in our housing. And that is things like they have tutoring that goes over there. There's classes, they have special programming. You know, if there's ever any incidences, they make sure that it gets addressed. And so there's just certain things that we offer to our students to make sure that everyone stays safe, they get everything that they need, that are not always offered to outside student housing. That is a great question. Thank you. Great question. So if my major is computer science, when will that date be for me to meet my counselor? That I cannot ramble the day off of my head. We have something like, I don't know, 28 days that we are having orientation. So I do encourage you, if you're looking for the specific dates and the options, please just go into your application status page, click on that link, register for orientation. The system will show you what all of your dates are and what the option is. And also, please do plan to be in your academic success day for about 2.5 to 3 hours. Like I said, you'll have a 30-minute meeting with your appointment. It'll take you anywhere from 30 to 45 minutes to register for your classes. And then we have those segments in which we help you get familiar with what it means to build your schedule and some outside factors to consider. Okay, I think as I'm going through, great question, Henry. When and where do we sign up for the dorms? There was a link in here for the housing and dining website. So actually, you just triggered a thought when signing up for housing. When you click on the secure your housing link, that is you actually securing your housing and completing the contract. So they don't have an application in which you fill out the application, then you hear back from them, they send you a contract, you sign. Once you hit submit, you are submitting your contract. You're saying, yes, I'm going to live on campus. And then they will treat you as though you have made the decision. So if you're still not sure if you are planning to live on campus, I would not recommend you submitting the contract, because I would hate for you to decide, no, I'm going to live at home or whatever the case might be. And then you have to pay a fee to break the contract. So just keep that in mind. Okay, great question. If we completed Caspa, who do we contact to know if it has been received and how much we will be paying in total? Caspa is handled through our financial aid and scholarships office. So if you have completed Caspa, you would contact our financial aid and scholarship office, and they will be the ones to let you know if there's any verification documents that they need or what your award will be looking like. Okay, here's another great question. We're having trouble completing FAFSA because we won't be starting until spring. What is the best way to get more information to complete this? If you are not starting until spring, I would recommend actually that you connect with Lisa Briggs. Lisa Briggs is amazing, and she can help you navigate some of those things that may be giving you difficulty. So I'm going to put her denver.edu in the chat, and Lisa will be able to help you get through some of those hiccups that you may be experiencing completing your FAFSA for spring. Okay. I lost my spot. Oh, I'm so sorry, y'all. Oh, look, Ellen already put that in there. See, Ellen, great minds think alike. So let's see, completing the FAFSA, there we are. Can we apply for, yep, you can definitely apply for housing now. Technically, there is no deadline to apply for housing. It's first come, first serve. So you want to make sure that if you want to live there, get your application in sooner than later. Come July, it might be very limited beds available. And then if you just completed your tour, your next step to, if you plan on joining CU Denver, would be accepting your offer of admission, signing up for orientation. Orientation is the next step for everybody. And then we will point you into your next steps after orientation. And then JW, the exact date, you must set up a payment plan. Payment plans, you get the option of 4 installments, everyone. And so those come out the 20th of every month. So it'll be pulled August 20th, September 20th, October, and November 20th. They do not do a December 20th payment because it does come out December 20th after the semester is over. So if you wanted to be considered for the 4 installments, you do need to set up the payment plan. Probably by August 18th would be your best bet. That is, a couple of days before the semester starts. The fall semester will start on August 22nd. So if you do want to, again, to be considered for the 4 payment option, you can. Go ahead, Nicole.
And they will update those dates on their website. So I've shared the link for the website that has the payment plan information. They currently just have the spring information, but they will update it for fall once that gets a little closer.
Thank you. Thank you. Ellen did post the campus tour website on there. Aaliyah, on the campus tour website, there is an option for a virtual tour. So they have a great virtual tour that you can go on and complete as well. But that is definitely available for you. And then as it gets closer to the start of the semester, once you get to Colorado and you get settled, there are opportunities for you to also tour campus as well. Okay, what comes to change my major? Okay, the difference between BA and BS. Alan did answer this. A Bachelor of Science is the BS degree, and a Bachelor of Arts is the BA degree. Basically, one requires a lot more science classes than the other. So that's the big difference between the majors. If you're going to pursue a Bachelor of Science, you can expect to have a lot more science required courses. If you're doing a Bachelor of Arts, you will typically only have your core classes as having science requirements. And so that's going to be your biggest difference. The Bachelor of Science will prepare you for a career in those science fields. Okay. Connor, great question. Yes, you do need to sign up for financial aid or complete the FAFSA every year. It opens October 1st. And pro tip, our scholarship applications for CU Denver, our internal scholarship applications for CU Denver also open October 1st as well. So that's when you're going to want to maybe set some time aside on the weekends from October to maybe November to get those completed and really take a deep dive into scholarship opportunities. I once knew a woman who completed her master's degree fully on scholarship. And what she would do is she would literally set aside 2 weekends, Saturday and Sunday out of the year, and just complete applications for scholarships. And so it's doable. It does take work. I do recommend that when you are doing your essays, I tell people, leave a piece of yourself in your essay. Everyone needs money for college. College is not very cheap. And so if you go into your essay saying, if I don't get this scholarship, I'm not going to be able to afford to go to college and will have to drop out, everyone has that same message. So make sure that you leave a piece of yourself on that paper. Give the reader that's reading your essay something that resonates, something that makes them feel a connection with you, and you will most likely get awarded if you do that. All right, payment plans are on there, I think. Jacob, if you're not seeing for the links crossing, contact the housing and dining. They do, because the system is set up to your application, the system recognizes you as a first-year student, so it's only going to show you the option for City Heights. But contact housing and dining and they'll be able to talk you through what your options are. Okay, will there be help in a timely fashion as needed picking courses, since first year could be a little tricky and confusing for the first time? Yes, that is what we will do at the Academic Success Day. We will make sure that you get connected with one of our orientation leaders. When you register, we'll walk you through. I am not going to lie, your first semester registering for classes can be a little bit overwhelming. It's almost a rite of passage to not have the perfect schedule because you learn from your first time. So you, again, I encourage earlier registration. That way you have the pick of the litter. You can really hone or create your schedule to what you want it to be. Classes are typically Monday, Wednesday, or Tuesday, Thursday. We don't have a lot of Friday classes, so there won't be a lot of Friday options, but we will have someone there to kind of hold your hand, walk you through the process. But we'll also be pushing you a little bit because that sometimes you got to make a decision. Like I said, your first semester registering, kind of doing it on your own, it won't be perfect, but it will teach you a lot about how you want your schedule to be in the upcoming semesters. Another question, is Alex required because this is what it showed? Yes, so we do require it to register for specific math courses. When you do register for your orientation, it will give you a confirmation email that tells you, it'll give you an Alex blurb, but then it'll specify what math course your degree requires. So if you are an engineering student, it'll tell you, your engineering degree requires this math, and then you can see if that's on the list of the 4 classes that are required by Alex. Okay, the scholarship link is in there. Thank you so much for putting that. Are all Bachelor of Science degree considered STEM and include OPT after graduation for international students? That is a great question, Henry. I'm not sure how that works specific to international students. We might have to ask our international folks. I encourage you to send us an email and then we can make sure we get connected with international office to answer your question more specifically. Okay, so scrolling down, lots of greats and thank yous. Are there a lot of daytime classes available? Are they more evening at UCD? We definitely have a lot of day classes that are available. The evening classes are not as robust. You can see, there are some evening labs that are available. Typically, we'll see more of our graduate courses that are offered in the evening for a lot of our working folks, but majority of our classes will be offered Monday through Thursday between 8 and 6-ish. But there are some evening options. There are online options as well. There are remote or virtual via Zoom options. So there are lots of different ways that you can register and take your classes. And we'll make sure that we go over all of those choices when you attend your Academic Success Day, so you know what you're getting into. Ooh, I made it through the list. I didn't think I was going to get through in time. So what other questions do folks have that might not have gotten answered? Did we miss anything that you put in the chat and got skipped? I live about 3 hours away. Would I be able to meet with my advisor through Zoom? Yes, absolutely. You can definitely meet with your advisor through Zoom. Actually, all of our academic success sessions, that's where you meet with your advisor and register for courses, are via Zoom. So which makes it really convenient for folks that don't live local and maybe can't afford to drive 3 hours to be at a 9 a.m. program. And when it ends at 5, you get home at 8. So we do have those, and you will be able to meet via Zoom. Actually, all of you will be meeting via Zoom with your advisor and registering. Okay, I received an email stating that I had to turn tax docs before. I'm not sure what that is. That's probably something from our financial aid office that they had asked you to submit, one of the verification documents that they have. You can, financial aid, I'm going to put their email address. You're always welcome. Oops. Sorry, I just sent that to Allie. You know, you think going 3 years into Zoom, I'd figure out how to message everyone. I'm going to put the financial aid email in there for you. Kelly, email financial aid. I will also put the disclaimer that we are short-staffed in our financial aid office. So if you, for some reason, do not get a timely response, please know that they are working as hard as they can. But if you don't get a timely response, email the orientation office, and we'll try to kind of help use our connections to get you some answers. UC Denver, I just put our email address in there a bunch of times as well. All right, what other questions? We are about 1 minute to our time. I want to make sure we don't hold anyone hostage, or if you have dinner plans or places to be, please make sure you hop off. But also, if you have any questions, I've said this before, I'll keep saying it, orientation is here for you. It's our jobs to make sure you get to where you need to be, you get your questions answered. Our goal for you is, 1, to register for classes for your first semester. 2, we want you to feel comfortable and excited and prepared and ready for your first semester. So please, if there's anything that we can do to help you navigate the process, do not hesitate. Our phone has already started ringing a little bit. Our email is open. It gets checked every day. Let us know how we can help you all. Yep. Criminal justice students do not need to take ALEX. Again, it's usually specific to those STEM majors. When you go and register for orientation, on the checklist item or the to-do item for orientation, if you click on ALEX, it will list all of the majors that typically require the ALEX assessment. The date, yes, there is a specific date to complete ALEX. That would be 24 hours before your academic success day. That way it gives the system the overnight process to upload your scores into your record, and you'll be able to register. Oh, we'll miss you at Admitted Student Day. No worries. There'll be lots of opportunities for you to connect with folks either through orientation or when you are on campus. And there's lots of other things you can do outside. If you wanted to do a tour, that's still available. There's the virtual tour, but then again, your part 2 of orientation will be on campus. So there'll be like many, many opportunities for you to get there. All right, and I think that's it. Oh yes, so my girl, it looks like they are for the music department. You know, your best contact is going to be Dave Walter. He is amazing. If you do not know, oh look, yep, Nicole put his information in there. Dave typically knows almost every new student by name. He will connect you with someone if you need. Yeah, he's great. He will give you a personal one-on-one tour if none of the dates that he has for his regular programs works. He's great. Screenshot his email, contact him. He'll get you all squared away. Yeah, you're very welcome. All right, well, we are 2 minutes over time. Again, if you have places to be, please feel free to go ahead and do that. I appreciate you all for being here. I thank you for taking time out of your day, maybe away from your families, or, you know, for those of you that are the students, maybe you wanted time away for your family, but I do appreciate you taking that time to get your questions asked and answered. And I said this again, we are here for you. Orientation is here for you. Your advisors, once you meet them, you will find it takes a village to get through college, and this is the first introduction to part of your village, and we are happy to get you connected with many more people for you to be successful. You all are very welcome. I'm just going to hang out. I'll keep the Zoom room open until about 7:04, just in case there's any last minute questions, but please feel free to hop off if you need to. And again, this will be recorded. We will make sure we post it on the websites, so you can always refer back. Thank you, everybody. Have a great night or great day if you're on the other side of the world. I'm glad, Nash, you found it helpful. All right, it's 7:04. I am going to go ahead and close the Zoom room. Have a great night, everybody. Bye.